And then all of a sudden, everybody just dies, and you're like, okay, Malthael, you're OP.
I think he's a hero that's going to force an increase in competency in team fights out of players in general, because if he's left to his own devices, your health bar just evaporates, but you don't see like a giant Li Ming orb travel across. You don't see magic missiles or, you know, something super flashy like a flame strike from Kael'thas. You just have to look out for that hero himself.
Yeah.
And if he's just given time to hang out and do what he does, especially past level 16, you're going to have a pretty rough go at things.
Completely agree, man. Absolutely agree. Like you said, I think it's really going to test the mettle of support players.
We're on the lobby here. Should be ready to go in un momento. Shot says that they are ready. Battlefield of Eternity Battleground. Now, I mean, these teams are no strangers to team fighting each other. They've gone at it head-to-head in knockdown, drag-out fights. And Kyle, I submit to you, a battleground like Battlefield of Eternity is pretty much the culmination for all of it.
Yep, I hope we see another Genji pick, man. That's all I got to say. And I also want to see more Mouth. Yeah, I do want to see both of those heroes because both of them promote team fights. And they're both just really good on this map, and I've been loving talking about these team fights with both of those heroes in it. So, Flame is Lame is now first pick, or are they? They're on the left side, right? Yeah.
Firm Handshake appears to have first pick, and they will be on the right.
Perfect.
Outcast says we can hear you now in the general chat.
So it's just me being a giant noob about stream delay. Whoopsies.
Again, sorry guys, my internet just, from what I can tell, is still dead. I'm using my phone for internet. So if I sound like a robot or anything, I do apologize. Doing the best I can with what I got. This is game 3, Battlefield of Eternity. And I hope my phone holds out just because I want to see these games. Like this might be one of the most hype grand finals we've had in Heroes Hype ever.
Well, yeah, this is sweet. Like, both of these teams have displayed that they're, you know, they have high competency when it comes to this game, and I just like watching them play against each other, you know? Firm Handshake deciding, again, just banning off that Tassadar immediately. I think that is a very good call. Flame is Lame, what's their response? I actually think just, like, if I'm Flame is Lame, I feel like the biggest issue there was the Dahaka. Perhaps you might just want to ban off a global like that. You force them to just team fight you, but I guess that's
do we see a first pick Malthael?
Might be, but you know, Anubarak is just so strong right now. I think that's actually a really good call by Flame is Lame as well.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen Malthael. We've been singing this hero's praises. But it's going to be an Uther first pick.
Yep. Like I said, Hey loves it. Now Flame is Lame, you have the entire world available to you at this point. You got the Gangu, you've got the Malthael.
Not surprised.
We have been blessed on this day. Malthael, Genji, the two heroes I wanted to see, man.
The young Gango makes his appearance. Malthael. Dude, the HGC is going to be something else this weekend, because if these games have been any indication, he's going to be a menace of the competitive scene.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I can't talk about him at all, but I think he's going to be busted. Greymane Stitches picked up for Firm Handshake, you know?
Ooh.
Dignitas is just showing their effect on not only North American HGC, Korean HGC, but the amateur scene in North America as well. Stitches just gaining so much value, or sorry, so much flavor across all regions because of, you know, the effect of mid-season brawl. And the Greymane, of course, just fantastic on this map, right? Deals so much damage to the Immortal.
I mean, one of the great ways to potentially shut down a Malthael is wait for him to hit that teleport behind someone's back, and when he's trying to escape, yank him on back with the Stitches hook. You have the Uther for the follow-up stun. That should buy plenty of time for Greymane to close out the takedown. I like it. Definitely could do work here.
It's another Ariel ban that we're seeing, as well as obviously the Li Ming ban that we didn't touch on too much.
Yeah, Li Ming brings a lot to the table in this battleground. Her ability to poke, during the immortal phase. Anytime you see a situation where both teams are just trying to stall things out, they both want to defend their immortals, that's where I feel Li Ming can shine the most, because she just throws in those orbs and magic missiles from a very safe distance, and then she teleports if anyone tries to jump on her. You don't want to deal with that.
No.
What this says to me is that maybe Flame is Lame are looking to play this map a little slower this time around, but I wasn't expecting the Rhaegar variant.
No, I mean, the variant promotes the slow play till level 10 as well, and Rhaegar is just really strong at taking camps, obviously, but also he's really good at racing the immortal. He has, I believe, the highest immortal race capacity out of any of the supports in the game, even over Kharazim with Iron Fists. So Rhaegar coming out in that 3-4 for Flame is Lame. We got asked the question, what's the reasoning for the Taskverse ban? Flame is Lame. First pick Tassadar throughout the entire Heroes hype so far. So Firm Handshake just don't want to deal with it. And I think it's actually quite wise. They're just banning off the comfort pick. So just to let you know that one.
Yeah, what we've seen a lot from Flame is Lame tonight is Tassadar, Ariel, and Vala. Savariel? Whatever you want to call that combination. Or Tracer, just enabling a ranged auto attack damage dealer to have 90% life steal and add a sustain of Ariel and just absolutely go off. I would understand that, and we see the
let the games begin.
Flame is Lame putting, oh boy. So we've seen this already, have we not? We've seen something very similar to this, and it didn't bode too well for Flame is Lame. Who's the solo laner? Is it the Malthael? So we got the Medivh variant Rhaegar Genji. Interesting.
Seen a Genji solo laner for a time, I believe, by Flame is Lame. It did a serviceable job. It took away some of the lethality on the other side of the map. But I feel like Malthael should be the solo laner in this situation.
Yeah, it's probably what we're going to see. But honestly, Firm Handshake's draft as well. With the Stitches, Uther, and Kael'thas as well. Not even talking about the Diablo. Like, that's a lot of beef, and it's a lot of follow-up damage onto those single picks that Stitches is able to get. And Malthael's not, the most elusive hero when it comes to escaping. So that might bode quite well for the roster of Firm Handshake.
I'm curious to see how this Medivh holds up against Diablo Stitches, but we are about to find out. Game 3, an exciting conclusion to tonight. On the left side, you're going to have the members of Flame is Lame. Shot is playing Varian. Trap Queen is on Genji. Deadly Ice playing Malthael. Legend playing Medivh. And Dark Chimera is going to round it out on Rhaegar.
And on the right in red is Firm Handshake. We got Lex Uther on the Diablo, Vestige playing Stitches, D Steves on the Greymane, Necromonger's playing Kael'thas, and Heyo on Uther.
Heyo. Now, one thing I'd point out is that Medivh was picked up again, but it's Legend this time on that hero. Game 1, it was Trap Queen playing.
It sure was. Now we've got Trap Queen on the Genji, like he was the other game, and of course the angry skin. Or the Angry Cloud for Deadly Ice. So he's turning up here, Haloran.
He's ramped up. He's ready to go. So it is going to be Malthael in the top lane. Some interesting rotations float to the middle of the map. They might be looking to go for the old early well strategy.
Oh, the old well in the enemy team trick, and Firm Handshake pulling away from this one, but they're not going to be able to do a whole lot here. The portal comes out, and they realize that now, and they just immediately just start pushing bottom. They get half of a tower for it, but not the most worthwhile trade. That bottom well can gain value, but honestly, there's the top one and bottom one too. It's not the end of the world, so Firm Handshake just kind of brushing that one aside, and they're just looking to continue on with their laning phase.
Taking down the well earlier on is one of the oldest tricks in the book. I mean, that's a lot of sustain out the window during the Immortal phase. You think that it doesn't mean a whole lot, but you go to that halftime show and you want to go back where we see a nice hook into the overpowered Shadow Charge. Displacement on Variant, is able to sustain throughout. Is able to get away thanks to the healing from Dark Chimera. He actually didn't lose that much health, all considered, especially without shield.
No, not at all. Again, we are seeing different Malthael builds so far. Deadly Ice is deciding to go with Death's Reach for his level 1 talent. I'm assuming is going to go the additional damage too onto the Wraith Strike as well, because we've seen him do that one so far. Both these teams just kind of posturing up. Genji is did make the rotation topside to try to get a little bit of damage onto the Grey Mane, but nothing really showing up there. Now both these teams posturing. Firm Handshake pushing up a little side in the defensive position. Both these teams just kind of gauging each other out. You know, this is the 1-1 so far in the series, so Lauren, neither team wants to do anything crazy.
Ooh, nice hook into the follow-up, but the Force of Will is going to sustain Dark Chimera. Legend getting value out of Medivh for sure.
Yep.
Plenty of help on both Immortals, neither team being too aggressive on that front. We thought we might see a slower game out of Flame is Lame, and that's definitely come to pass right now. Neither team, we do see Diablo finally rotating down to catch some of the soak. I was wondering who would start jockeying for the tier advantage in it.
Yeah, no, both of these teams sending one person to the lane. This is a fantastic job because it forces rotations from your opponents. Shot is the one to go up top, but that's not the hero that you want to be pushing the lane. Varian does almost inverse damage to minions. So Malthael instead jumping up there to trade a little bit of damage onto the minions. And Genji also bottom to rotate and pick up that soak. So actually trade advantage going over to Firm Handshake. Now they're pushing in aggressively onto the Immortal up like Flame is Lame.
And they're going in on Shot the hard way, but protect. Shot is going to survive through all of that. Lex Luthor is now the target on the response from Flame is Lame. Ganjo dashes in, secures the takedown on Genji, hits the deflect, jumps on out. Vestige misses the hook. One takedown in favor of Flame is Lame. In response for now.
That's a lot of damage over onto the Immortal, though, for Firm Handshake so far. And they're continuing to push up. They want this 50%, and they actually do get it. No damage now going onto Flame is Lame Immortal. Or sorry, the opposite one, Firm Handshake Immortal.
Yeah, I said that was for nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, actually, Firm Handshake got way ahead, but these Thieves is going to get absolutely destroyed. Another missed Vestige. Shot, Dark Chimera, Legend rotate down. They're trying to defend their Immortal. Lex Luthor has plenty of health and mana. Does not need to go to that middle well, and we see some of the implications there. You got to rotate up top if you want to hit the win.
Malthael does so much damage onto these Immortals. It's actually crazy. The Reaper's Mark really showing up here. Firm Handshake positioning up against Flame is Lame. The Shadow Charge and Overpower goes down, and Medivh gets deleted. Shot also taking a crazy amount of damage, but Genji is there to clean up the kill, and that is a 1-for-1. Now Firm Handshake are deciding whether or not they want to continue. Grey Mane is diving in, and all of the health bars on Flame is Lame is solo. The hook lands on a Deadly Ice as well.
Deadly Ice wants to get the heck out of dodge. He starts to back away. The Immortal helps out with the disengage. The secret 6th man of the composition. But in the end, the ultimate race is going to go over to Firm Handshake in what's been a fever pitch back and forth battle. Game 3 is not disappointing so far, Kyle.
Not at all. And the experience differential doesn't exist. Literally the same across the board. Like, that's pretty crazy in situations like this. You know, obviously it's going to snowball a little bit in the favor of Firm Handshake at this point because you know, the Immortal went over to them. But what a fantastic early game to start off this last game of the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's been impressive from both sides. At the end of the day, though, the first Immortal is going to go over the Firm Handshake. They withhold. They withstand losing out that middle well. Fine. Even though they're down 2 takedowns, you wouldn't know it. There's the hook. There's the follow-up damage. Legend is getting this follow-up damage after the best finds him.
And there's not a whole lot of Immortal damage left unless Deadly Ice decides to position pretty much too aggressively here. And Firm Handshake push up, they realize that, and they take the fort and their level 7s with this first Immortal. Getting a fort with the first Immortal on like really even talent, or sorry, really even experience like that is, you know, it doesn't happen a whole lot. So that's an excellent job by Firm Handshake to find that pick onto the Medivh of all heroes.
Yeah, I mean, they're going above and beyond. That's one of the most wily heroes to take down, and they've shown that they've been able to do it twice. That lockdown over the first Immortal phase, Shadow Charge into Overpower, into Gravity Lapse, into Uther Stun, it was insane. Yeah. You know, Legend was just like mashing that W key, like, oh my god, please get me out of here.
Yeah.
Nice takedown.
So Guardian of Ancient Kings picked up, you know, not the most amount of synergy here. Well, I guess use from the opponent's team, not a lot of use from the ability, but maybe they'll just be standing in maybe they'll be standing in the Immortal stuns just to gain value with the talent, but who knows. Level 7s, as I was saying, available for Firm Handshake, and as well with Flame is Lame. Cleanse picked up, and the Master's Touch. Last time we saw this talent picked up, it didn't gain a whole lot of value.
And with 2 takedowns already on Medivh, that's a rolling trend that could continue. Yeah. I would click on that talent with a bit of tentativeness if I was Legend. His positioning is going to be absolutely critical for the end of the game, because you know Firm Handshake will love to reset that counter every chance they get.
And to talk about what we were saying earlier, mortality is picked up for the Malfail. Shadow Charge Overpower going over to onto Medivh, but no additional damage there. Both these teams, again, just gauging each other out, not committing to anything too crazy. And Firm Handshake, with their Fallen Shaman Camp, pushing the keep wall of Flame is Lame on the top side of this map. Half a level until level 10s here, Lauren.
Yeah, Firm Handshake are getting a leg up on the members of Flame is Lame. The Bruiser camp gets cleared out before it becomes anything of a factor. Meanwhile, their own pushes the lane already to the keep wall off the back of a big pressure. But hold on, team fight down there in the bottom portion of the map. Legend is able to jump in the portal in the nick of time. He gets out.
Yeah, that was a really good play by the Medivh to save himself there. And look at his health bar, just extremely low already. Level 10's closing in super fast for Firm Handshake, and Flame is Lame are feeling the heat here. They need to turn this up in order to actually start a fight before the level 10s come in for Firm Handshake. And they are looking. We do see the Medivh scouting aggressively. He wants to find a pick. Can they find it?
Yeah, they've struggled to find it engage. And one thing that's important to consider is that they have solo warrior variant. They really need taunt to come online where they can lock someone in and really make their damage stick. So with that in mind, to their credit, like, they're doing about it as well as one could expect when you're dealing with Stitches, Diablo, and Uther, along with another stun from Kael'thas.
Yeah, it's very true. And, you know, they missed the little bit of an opportunity there. Flame is Lame realize it and they walk away, you know, decide to just completely give up this Immortal, which they have to. You know, 10's available for Firm Handshake, and that's something you just don't want to fight into, because you're basically just giving the game over at that point. All very standard talents picked up, including Putrid Bile for the Stitches. So, full health Immortal impending here, Lauren. It's scary, dude.
I was wondering if we would potentially see Gorge. I mean, take Rhaegar out of the fight, any of these heroes out of the fight for a moment. That's a lot of time to secure those takedowns. The Future Ball will definitely slow down the escape options. Portal's going to be that much more important. This is the portal. Level 10s are online now. Let's gets another takedown for the team. Dashes out the Shield Immortal. It's finally here to...
We see the 1-for-1 trade there. Pretty explosive team fight, but as you said, the full Shield Immortal pushing in onto the fort. That's going to be at least the fort plus some of this keep wall. Firm Handshake pushing up. You know, you see Lex Luthor on the Diablo pushed so far up that that Flame is Lame can't even do any damage to the shield of this Immortal. So definitely the keep wall at bare minimum here. So the charge onto shot on the variant and the the unstoppables from the parry are enough to keep him alive. And now this team fight is unfolding.
There's a taunt. Necromonger's the target. It is going to go down. There's no Divine Shield. The chase is absolutely going to be on. Heyo's going to be sought after by Deadly Ice. Uther turns into a ghost. There's another slow. Ganjo dashes over on the main. That's nothing. Lame is Lame going off. Then there's the hook. The sound. The spot. The power. Before you go, Malthiel, we have one more thing people love to discuss.
I mean, that was a 3-for-1 trade and the keep wall, but a little bit of damage onto the keep, but nothing too substantial. So, I like the response there from Flame is Lame. I'm sure they wish they could have got a little bit more off of that, but they're going to be able to get 13 to 13 at relatively easily, I would say. Definitely before the Immortal spawns. So, really good job there by Flame is Lame to even out this game.
Yeah, they definitely equalized things. They're down both of their forts for sure. I mean, that's definitely something to consider. But I feel like they more so capitalized on a mistake made by Firm Handshake. Diablo engaged on Varian. That's not the hero you want to go for in this situation. Not only does he have 2 parries that'll make effect on his own, but then you have Force of Will from the deep as well. There was no way they were going to be able to lock you down long enough to do any meaningful damage. All that time spent on that hero, all time for Flame is Lame to go off.
Also, like, to compound on that, Flame is Lame is making the call. Look, we have to fight past this Immortal and try to do something, or else it's just going to walk up, take a whole bunch of structure damage, or like give a whole bunch of structure damage, and then we're just going to be down like 10 to 12 and a half, and it's just going to be super bad for us. So, Firm Handshake position a little bit too far forward, and they pay dearly for it. Best case scenario there, they just wait for Flame is Lame to realize that they can't get a pick, and they just walk back to their keep to depush the Immortal, and then at that point, Firm Handshake can walk up, maybe look for a hook if they can, but yeah, just a little bit too ambitious from Firm Handshake, but I'm kind of happy about it, because now we have a 13 to 13 even game in this series.
Yeah, I mean, this next team fight is going to tell us a lot about how the rest of the game could go. This is going to be a real big opportunity for Flame is Lame to turn things around. They have their level 13s, devastating charge for Diablo. That's definitely going to add an exclamation point to when he presses the Q key. Mortal Strike to pick up. That'll definitely slow down and sustain a Uther. That could have a huge impact as well. So there's definitely more tricks up the sleeves for both of these teams. It's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, Shingan also really good talent for dealing a massive amount of damage onto these Immortals. Both these teams just deciding to trade right now. They're going to wait for the 50% mark to see if they're going to force a fight of any kind. I would say the advantage is going over to Firm Handshake, of course, because we do have that Fallen Shaman camp pushing relentlessly in the top lane onto the keep wall. Flame is Lame is on a timer at this point.
Yeah, if Firm Handshake slow this game down, it's really going to put Flame is Lame into a pretty interesting spot. All 5 members still here for both teams. Vestige jockeys forward. There's one proc of the shield wall shot. Has to use the second one to avoid the chain bomb damage. Now's the time you want to go on variant if you decide to do so. Vestige does let's see. There's the little and it's about dropping one routine. And we'll get two back. Shots on the back and down. That takedown.
Firm Handshake looking to push up, and you know, they see Genji. He's quite indecisive. He's not sure if they want to go and push top or try to force this fight. And the shot calling from Flame is Lame is, you know, being pushed to its limits right now. Both these teams posturing up, looking to fight each other. Shot goes. There's the charge and the taunt onto Necromonger, but no follow-up damage. The ley line comes out on 3 targets. Vestige is caught a little bit. Lex Uther diving onto the backside of this fight, onto the Medivh. Legend is taking a crazy amount of damage, and Kale Foss actually goes down on the front side of this fight. Vestige as well, just kind of juggling the team of Shot and Deadly Ice, jumping onto the Greymane, and he goes down. This fight is all over the map, Lauren.
It turns into a bloodbath. It costs him a few here. Oh, maybe more than a few. It's going to cost him the entire team, but at the end of the day, the Red Immortal is going to get picked up. I don't know what value you can expect to get off of that if you're all waiting to respawn, however. How do you respond to this if you're on the side of Flame is Lame? You can't do anything, really. You just have to respond. It feels bad. It's like, hey, man, we want to see fight the hard way, but they decided to get aggressive. Handshake. All they can do is just try to put him down in smoke.
I mean, and that looked like it was Firm Handshake's fight to win. But like, seriously, it's so crazy having Mouthvale in this game, because a fight can turn so quickly, just like that. Like, a whole bunch of health bars on Firm Handshake just, you know, start getting dwindled down, and then all of a sudden the teleport or the Wraith Strike from Mouthvale comes out, and, you know, heroes start getting deleted, and then all of a sudden the team fight just completely sways. Like, it's actually crazy.
Yeah. Ginju's a pretty good hero. I mean, it's pretty great. Pretty crazy to see. Level 16 does get picked up, though. So, you know, as far as considering ultimate value, you wipe the entire team. You deal with the Immortal. You don't win it, but you save your keep. And now look at the experience divide. You are now up level and some change. You have a tier advantage. I would say, overall, if I'm on Flame is Lame, I feel pretty good about that progression.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've been behind for most of the game here, and they've managed to save both their keeps, so they're laughing at this point, you know? They're going to be completely safe, basically dominating the rest of this map, maintaining lane control. They got their hard camp pushed out, and they also have this, or it looks like they're going to rotate to top, try to take that camp as well to push top side, so they want to maintain as much or gain as much lane pressure as possible, but they actually just let their hard camp push into this wall and not force any sort of an issue.
And I think that's been a really big part to the overall success of Firm Handshake. Like, these bruiser camps get picked up early, minimizing whatever value they could potentially have. But meanwhile, the bruiser camp gets picked up for Firm Handshake, and it's making its way across the map to the keep wall and then to the keep. Like,
yep.
Value's obviously bad.
So Flame is Lame picking up that top Khazar camp to push during this Immortal phase. And also Flame is Lame looking to take away this the Fallen Shaman camp as well. Just a little bit of a resource there. We saw the interaction from Charge on the variant. And Flame is Lame looking to get a full Immortal here. This is a very scary situation for Firm Handshake. Are they looking at a fight?
I'm not sure if they want to try to take this 16 to 15. They may just have to lay down and take it. But I like this response from Flame is Lame. Like, all right, you've been getting value off these bruiser camps all game. How about we just invade while we have the tier advantage? Take that away.
Exactly. Flame is lame. They get the 50% mark. Now Firm Handshake just trying to do as much damage to the shield of their enemy Immortal as they can. Not a whole lot there. Malthael just absolutely destroys the health bar of the Immortal. And now this is a scary situation to be in. However, both these teams have level 16. So a team fight can erupt here, and I assume it will.
Absolutely. I mean, it's everything's on deck. Everyone has their heroics. So it's definitely going to come down to execution and level of play. The hook goes in, foul up there, start the overpower, looking for blood, ends up finding his health bar, help down there, and Flame is lame.
Yeah, the portal is there. Flame is lame are looking to try to get the fight if they can. You know, the Immortal is taking the fort, so this is a pretty safe engagement for themselves. But at the same time, Greymane gaining a lot of value with the cocktail splashes. So the health bars on Flame is lame dipping a little bit low, and they decide, hey, this isn't the fight we're looking to take. But honestly, full shield Immortal just getting a fort there. Flame is lame not getting the value that they would have hoped off of that Immortal.
I think it's a credit to Firm Handshake's overall level of play. It's forcing out more tentative, conservative decisions from Flame is Lame where they've been super aggressive all night. They have to respect their opponents. They almost isolate Diablo, force out the Apocalypse. Although this is a favorite.
Ooh, Flame is lame. Flame is lame, just picking up the pieces there, managing to get 2 kills with the Genji, and those are the fights that they're looking for, right? Like that's exactly what they wanted. And now they're just deciding to rotate bottom, clear out these minion waves with the Malthael and Genji, and try to force some more structures. I would say this is the biggest issue that they have in this game right now. They are winning all of these team fights. We see 14 kills to 4. However, they've managed to get like 0 structures off of it. You know, we just saw the full shield Immortal, and they only got a fort with it. So they realize this is a major issue, and they decide to push bottom. And I think this is a fantastic idea. Opening up top wall would also be a very good idea, because next Immortal that they get, if they get it, it's going to be pushing top side, and they want to open up that wall so they can push past the fort and engage a fight.
Absolutely. I mean, it's actually been a very interesting dynamic to see how these two teams have fared so far. Flame is Lame is playing the team fight and succeeding on that front, whereas Firm Handshake are playing the map, and they're way ahead in structures. But the experience is heavily in favor of Flame is Lame, so it's hard to really argue. Like, it's hard to say who's really ahead. But once these level 20s come around for Flame is Lame, we're gonna have our answer.
I mean, Firm Handshake have to force a really hard engagement as soon as they can. Like, level 20 is almost available. The hook onto Trap Queen lands, but the dash is there to save Genji.
And I believe Flame is Lame are well aware of the situation. They are in the driver's seat in a lot of ways. They don't have to be overly aggressive. They do hang around and start to poke at the Immortal, but I don't think they want to heavily commit to this. They're so close to level 20, Kala. I don't know if this is the right call.
No, the Shadow Charge Overpower does land, but there goes the Dragon. Actually, not quite yet. Genji with the Dragon Blade, dealing a crazy amount of damage on the backside of the fight. So many health bars low. Lex Luthor goes down as well. Now Dark Chimera also being the target here. Both these teams, massively low health bars, and in only a 1-for-1 trade so far.
Out the old Deadly Ice. We saw what he can do outnumbered. He's looking to get further damage, and there's the taunt. Varian shows up. Chaos disappears. Chase continues. Varian's looking more shot on the chase. Steve's Hales back to think. 1 so far, and also back to the setup. Deadly Ice bumps.
I'm loving the Malthael plus.
You looked at the bottom.
I didn't actually. I wasn't looking at that at all. That's the value of that hard camp. I was just completely watching that team fight and listening to you pop off on it. So
I believe no one remembers the Firm Handshake, and when that kill went down the leg. No help.
Oh,
he's gonna be in. Oh, and going down. He might have wanted to drop sooner to try to contest it.
I mean, level 20 is now available for Flame is Lame, of course, and they managed to get a 60+% Immortal, and that's going to be pushing on the top side of this this game, but again, there's no... All the structures are available for Firm Handshake, so it's going to be increasingly difficult for Flame is Lame to push this in. Even though Firm Handshake is down a keep, they're not going to lose the game off of this, so they should still get their level 20 to 20 fight if they play this properly. And they need to be communicating that right now, because yeah, that is their like #1 way back into the game.
This is going to be an uphill battle, to say the least, for the members of Firm Handshake. They are nowhere near their level 20s. Their bottom keep is already down. This is a near full shield immortal barreling down the top lane. Everything stacked in the favor of Flame is Lame. How did Firm Handshake fight?
Firm Handshake, they're basically just hoping that they don't lose the game here, because if Flame is Lame are able to execute a strong team fight here with the portal, that's going to spell the end of the series for Firm Handshake. So both these teams just posturing up, and there goes the ley line seal. The Unstoppable comes out for Legend, but nothing really happens off of it. Shaw taking a massive amount of damage as well. Genji jumps in with the protect. His Dragon Blade is up. He takes the portal back, but neither of these teams are dropping any heroes. Deadly Ice onto the backside of the fight as well with his passive proccing. The Gravity Laugh does land, as well as the hook, but that might actually just be okay for... Oh, just kidding. He just got absolutely annihilated in that situation. The rest of Flame is Lame just didn't catch the memo, and they walked away from this fight.
Lex Uther with the body check into the boards on Malthael is going to spell the 6th takedown for Firm Handshake, and single-handedly, in my opinion, saves this game. All 5 heroes were alive and well on the side of Flame is Lame. I think they would have stayed around, tried to close the game out. Game on.
I mean, I actually think that Flame is Lame made a huge mistake there. When Malthael got hooked in, I think the rest of his team needed to be positioned up that far. I'm pretty sure if they just, like, literally brute force fought that team fight 20 to 19 plus the Immortal, they would have won it. Malthael got put into a situation where he was around like 4 other heroes and he had his E up. As long as he got the Force of Will from Medivh, he would have been perfectly fine, and I actually think they would have turned that team fight quite decisively. So I think that's a bit of a misplay there. I think they could have ended the game, but now we have a 20 to 20 fight. This is exactly what Firm Handshake we're looking for.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, a well-timed Force of Will could have definitely changed all that. Malthael wants to be surrounded by the enemies. He wants to have that passive on as many people as possible to sustain himself. And in a second and a half of invulnerability is exactly how you make that happen. But that's all said and done now. Level 20 is picked up for Firm Handshake. They are without structures. They are not exactly out of the team.
Yeah, Firm Handshake positioning aggressively. They know that time is not in their favor. They have -2 keeps on this map, and they're looking at picking one up. The taunt lands onto Diablo, but no follow-up damage aside from the Medivh there spamming his Q. So the portal comes out. Flame is Lame. Are they able to get any more here, Lauren?
I'm not sure. The Apocalypse goes in. Malthael trying to press the issue, and early ancestral healing resets the health bar. Malthael back to back. Hey, trying to stop.
Oh my gosh.
Flame is Lame sets fire to the entire composition.
Okay, Malthael is actually insane. Like, he's actually insane. Like, they portal in. That's what I was talking about, the whole Malthael and Medivh combination. Like, he portals in. Like, Malthael actually just walked in, pressed his R, and then got his passive onto 4 heroes, became unstoppable. Like, Momentum Mori was just ticking, and there's absolutely nothing you can do if you're Firm Handshake. Like, that was actually insane. Malthael is so busted.
Kala, games like that, games like sets like this was really fun playing, you guys. Trap Queen said it better than I could.
What a sweet man.
You lose a best of 3 like this, I wouldn't feel bad. That was an evenly contested seesaw battle from beginning to end. It may not have gone your way in the end, but that was a hotly contested best of 3. I would be jazzed and ready to see them again next week.
I mean, Firm Handshake was also commanding that game for the first, what, 13 levels? 12 levels? Like, they were doing so well. You know, they lost it a little bit when they overextended on that team fight bottom side with their Immortal. But aside from that, like, they played the early game super well. But then at that point, the game swung in favor of Flame is Lame. They got all the team fights, excuse me, they needed. And Malthael came online with that Genji combination, man, I'll tell you. Insane.
I wanted to see Flame is Lame under pressure. I wanted to see them struggle, and I wanted to see them rally and respond. This is a team that's been in an open division who obviously have high aspirations. They want to make it to that competitive level. And they're going to need to go through trials and tribulations like what we just saw tonight to be ready for those big moments. And I think this was a huge test for them. They came out ahead. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. I thought they played very, very well. And, they showed some resilience in draft, too. I'm just really proud of that team. They, against all odds of the target banning, still pulled through. So, GG's.
Again, guys, apologies. My internet died, and I'm using my phone for internet. So if I'm, like, splotchy or whatever, I don't know. My phone's doing a heck of a lot better job than I really thought it would. But I'm glad I was able to see that Game 3. I think this is one of the best times to be in the North American amateur scene. I think this is one of the best times to take part in and participate in Heroes Hype. These teams are playing at a high level. I think the days of let's just show up and play around and experiment are kind of over for Heroes Hype. Like,
me too.
We see some high quality levels of play that have an argument to show up in the Crucible. So I just don't think you can slack off anymore around here.
No.
These teams are ready to play.
And I don't want it to be any sort of... I don't want slacking off to happen in Heroes Hype, right? Because if it doesn't happen, that means no matter what, the skill level of the amateur scene is going to raise. So if that condition stays, then, nothing but better teams are going to be a result of it. So, man, and, like, today was indicative of that happening, right? Like, I don't know, over the past few weeks, even like in first season, like I've actually seen a progression of these teams and players, so it's fantastic.
All right, it looks like we're gonna be interviewing old Shot.
Oh boy.
Hey, I'm real curious. I'm excited to talk to this guy.
Hello.
Hey,
oh, no.
how's it?
My green screen's not perfect. Team, watch out.
Oh no.
There it is. Oh, close one. Even though it's still not good. Hi, Curtis.
You used my first name, dude. Nice. We are first name basis, though.
Dude,
so.
We're very first name basis. Come on.
Yeah.
Shot, congratulations, man. You guys put on an impressive performance. I was just talking about this before you joined in. I wanted to see how your team would handle themselves under pressure, facing a stiff challenge, and more than a best of one. You go down game 1, you respond rally, have a very exciting game 2, and then you respond again late game and close out this game. How proud of your team are you right now?
I'm proud of them, but we have a lot of work to do. We're not used to playing against such aggressive people like Firm Handshake. Firm Handshake is an extremely aggressive team. We've scrimmed with them a couple times. They, in fact, beat us in our first Bloodlust before we had Legend. They're a very, very aggressive team, and it caught us off guard. So I'm proud that we were able to rally back, but I'm disappointed in it taking us off guard, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It actually makes perfect sense. And it honestly, Austin, is the response that I wanted to hear. I want you to be proud of your team. This is definitely something to be commended for and feel happy about. But to make it to that professional stage, I feel like you guys should always aspire to do better. So I'm really glad to hear that response.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, I had a question about your Medivh pick.
Okay.
Why do you just pick it because Legend's good at it and he likes it, or do you pick it as a response to something specific? If you don't want to tell that, that's completely fine. But yeah, it's up to you. Or perhaps maybe it's a mix of both of them.
Okay, so Legend's not really our Medivh player at all. Actually, he's like our backup Medivh player.
Is Trap Queen?
Queen's Medivh god. Literally he spammed it when it first came out, and he's Cancer in Hero League with it, and that's all he does. Well, for a time. But Legend's our secondary Medivh player, and we actually that strategy, that composition, that exact composition, except for the healer, I believe, was used on us in scrims before, and we just wanted to test to see if it was actually that great on BOE.
Yeah.
Yes, tournament and finals isn't the best place to test a composition, but I guess it worked out. So Legend had full faith in it, so we're like, all right, well, let's do it.
Right on, man.
Nice.
Thanks,
I mean, sometimes you have to take those high-risk situations and really put yourself out there. So, like you said, it worked out.
Yeah, we had actually never run the composition ourselves.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, you wouldn't know it the way you guys executed it. Another question that I have for you specifically, I got a chance to see you in the open division on Monday. I casted you guys then. And the comparison of your stitches from Monday night until now almost feels like night and day. Do you think it's more that you practice that specific aspect of your play, or do you feel that not shot calling anymore has opened up you to have that higher level of play on that front?
It's 100% the latter, Albert. We I don't know. It was when I was shot calling, I put this team together. Nobody really shot called except for I had some shot calling experience, but it was all from the ranged position. I'm a new tank player, mostly because I can't find any really good tanks. So I was like, I'll do it. I'll be bad for a while, but eventually I'll get there. My team believed in me and allowed me to do it. And then when we lost in open, I was completely silent during our holding it down series. I was shot caller. I couldn't adapt to us losing. I couldn't adapt to what holding it down was throwing at us, so I just stayed silent, and that's the worst thing a shot caller can do. The best, if you're gonna, you should say something instead of nothing at all. Even just saying, let's go flip and fight them is better than just not saying anything. But I was being silent because I was thrown off. I was uncomfortable. I was too busy focusing on my own mechanics, and also when I switched Legend to shot calling, it really allows me to focus on my mechanics. Originally, when I was shot calling and I was on Diablo or Stitches, you could see that my hooks were all over the places. My charges were behind forts like an insane man. And it was mostly just because I was we need to engage or I need to throw a hook. But I was up in my head and I was trying to think of every different shot call after the engage, when in reality I just needed to focus on the engage itself. So having Legend shot call allows me to just focus on what I need to do, and I'm not practiced enough on it, so I need full focus on my engages and my hooks and my just tank mechanics.
I had theorized that going into tonight, so it's really cool to hear that. Thanks for giving us that insight.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations to you and your team. It's well deserved. Can't wait to see you guys again. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Where can they find you guys?
Shout out to my mom as always, just because gotta shout out my mom. I can literally hear her in her bedroom across the house freaking out because she's watching the stream.
Well, that's so adorable.
My brother goes in and I shout out to my brother too for keeping her in the loop and filling her in on all the information she might be missing. He explains some of the calls and explains some of the rotations to her because he's just a Hero League player, but he's listened to me shot call and he has listened to me talk about the game and he's picked up on the game really well, so he explains it to my mother. Also, shout out to Daihu because I'm going to start using him as a tanking coach soon if he accepts. So this is my public asking Daihu to tank me in coaching.
Nice.
Other than that, shout out to just my entire team for stepping it up, even though we had some pretty poor performances, and this is Legend's first tournament shot calling. He's never shot called before. Just props to them for stepping up and taking it by the balls, as we say.
Well, congratulations, man. I can't wait to see you guys again. All the props and respect.
Didn't know what to say, sorry.
Yeah, Curtis was just like, oh.
I just didn't know what to say, and that was the first word that came into my head, so sorry.
Your unabashed honesty is something I've always appreciated about you, chat. Again, congratulations, man. It's good to see you. Can't wait to see you again, man.
You'll see me in almost every single tournament, Albert.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you.
Sounds good.
So, for you guys who don't know, Shot worked on Heroes of the Dorm, and we got a chance to hang out and talk a lot over production, and we got to know each other. It was cool.
We had some spicy conversations.
Yes, we did.
Spicy?
Yeah, very spicy.
Yeah, we tackled a lot of issues, but I gained a lot of respect for him over that time. So I'm really proud to see you put this team together and develop as both a player and a leader. So good job, man.
Yeah, Thank you. Great job.
Hey, thanks, Curtis. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, man. I'll see you again soon, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's going to round it out for us. Again, sorry for the technical issues on my front. My internet went out. I only thing I can do is try to use my phone for internet. Seems to be working out well enough for now. But that aside, this has been, I dare say, if not one of the best night of amateur action we've seen at Heroes Hype, and it makes me so excited for the future of this tournament.
Yeah, like, you know, the drafts were a little bit different, but I would attest that to probably, you know, being the patch that just went live today. But aside from, you know, drafts and maybe not being min-maxed as well as they could in some situations, like the gameplay and execution, like, you know, teams were doing things as we were talking about them because they were just the right calls to make, right? Like we're saying, like, you know, X team needs to force a fight here because, you know, or else this is going to happen. Then we see like the rotations come in and, you know, they're trying to force exactly where they need to and stuff like that. Like we're seeing the level of competition in the amateur scene raise a lot. And I'm really stoked to be seeing it with you, my dude. And yeah, we had a fantastic day, and here's to more.
Yeah, I mean, if this is your first time here Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, it all goes down. This is only week 2 of 5. If you're not yet donated, you can type in HH Tempo 2, type an exclamation point, and we've hit 300? Wow.
Nice job, guys.
Nice
Seriously,
job.
excellent work, everybody. Thank you.
That's very impressive. Thank you guys. An amazing response from the community. And again, special shout out to Outcast. He donated $86. Madman. Thank you very much. The team appreciates it. Everyone from Heroes Hype behind the scenes appreciates it. And again, thanks to the staff of Heroes Hype making this run so smoothly. Couldn't ask for a better set of admins.
No, not at all. I wanted to give a special shout out to my org, Tempo Storm, for partnering with Heroes Hype, as well as our sponsors, you know, Mass Drop and Secret Labs. So thank you, everybody. And of course, all the chat and everybody at Heroes Hype. Thank you for putting on the tournament. And thank you guys for all showing up and donating and hanging out and chatting and yeah, just having a great time. We've been here for 5.5 hours now. So yeah, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you guys held on from beginning to end. I mean, this has been one heck of a roller coaster ride. But for now, my name is Lauren. I've been joined by the Fox of Hots, the Kitsune of Heroes, community coach, your neighborhood-friendly Kalamaka. And until next Wednesday, we'll see you later. But actually, you're going to stream after this, right?
Oh, gosh. I have to work in the morning, so I'm probably only going to stream for like an hour. But yeah, I'll be live for like an hour if you guys want to come hang out with me afterwards. We're going to play some Zelda, so.
Do it. Join the Fox of Hots. But for now, you guys have a great night. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. See you next week.